have to ask you, Mircea, it's tough enough to run a charity, provide all the opportunities, but this year, I mean, how has that been?
So every year has some level of unknown
Right.
in running CampK. But, by far, probably I would say this year has been the toughest year of probably everybody's life. Everybody's struggling. Everybody's got it hard. But every CEO out there right now, they're running a healthcare company. Although CampK always, was to some degree some sort of a healthcare company, dealing with so many different disabilities and needs that our participants have. But running a charity that you have to literally, take your staff's temperature every day they come to work and care for them to a certain degree that you never had before,
Right.
it makes it very challenging. But not knowing where you can operate, not knowing whether you can open up CampK, not knowing where you're going to have money to retain your staff or let them go, not knowing what your future is going to bring. Those are all very tough questions that we had to deal with and had to make some tough decisions. Well, fortunately for us, we worked really hard the last several years, and we put some money aside. We had a good reserve, and then we had some tremendous support, from some of our, all-time sponsors. You went through some of them. The Norda Foundation, Sorensen Foundation,
Right.
big
They've been
supporters
big-
of
big
CampK.
help, yeah.
They came in and they help us out. Some tough decisions in regards to cutting costs and preserving capital as much as possible, but at the same time, re-envisioning CampK and staying open. So we stayed open. We opened up CampK up and being closed for about 6 weeks from mid-March to the end of April. We opened up mid-May, so we've been running 14 weeks of camp. And very, 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 very happy and humbled to report that had no health issues and zero evidence of documented transmission of COVID here at CampK. And I would say, we work really hard for it.
Yeah.
But I would say that the reason stays that way is because our participants obviously care and they're very careful. So coming to CampK, they took a risk. But our staff, they understood that it's up to us whether we keep
Right.
CampK open or not. So our staff worked on and off, work to maintain all those guidelines and social distancing to stay safe for our participants.
I've talked about some of the things that are here, and there's so many, from the arena to the pavilions to the pool to the horses to the ropes course and things like that. Let's talk about the stories, the people behind CampK. I know that I'd kind of come up with a list of some people that you might want to talk about. Try to help share their stories so that people who are watching this and maybe not know, okay, you got this great facility with all these facilities within the facility, but what about the people?
So I'll just mention a few, just because, when we made the decision to keep CampK open, but we had to close some of our programs, our residential programs or trip camp programs, and only open our day camp programs, we knew it was going to be difficult for some people to commute into CampK unless they're close by. So one of them, which is going to be our first guest, here coming up soon, is Marty. Marty's been with CampK for many years. I'm really excited for the first time ever to share her story and her mom's. They've been coming to CampK recently. She had participated in, they're from Utah County. That's where they live. They been coming to our residential camps and our trip camps. And when they needed to make a decision, do we go to CampK this year or not, considering that CampK does not have those programs open, but the day camp, they really just made a decision to come into CampK, commute from Utah County, just to be part of CampK. And, you can imagine how happy we were to see that Marty is coming,
Right.
although from so far away, and meaning so much to her. And her mom was so excited that, she didn't come just 1 week. She had so much fun. She decided to come a second week. And driving and going home at night, her mom said that helped, with fighting her fear of the dark and many other things. So I'm really excited to have Marty share her story.
Sometimes
Another person.
The good comes out of the bad, right? A lesson learned from something like that.
That's right. So very excited to have her. Another person who's going to be later on here today is Christian. He literally almost came every single week this summer. And he is in a wheelchair, tremendous inspiration to all of us. And, being in a wheelchair, he has some needs that, it's very difficult to social distance when you cater for him and when you support him. So for him to come to CampK, it was difficult, but we heard so many inspirational stories coming out of his experience at CampK. We'll share that in a little bit. But the wonderful thing about it in regards to Christian is that he was afraid that because his disability, he might not be able to attend CampK due to social distancing. So he basically said, I will hold my bathroom breaks just to be able to come CampK. So we were very happy to say, no, you don't have to do that. Our staff will be able to wear a mask and help you and be part of CampK this summer. So Christian was part of CampK. Another participant, of ours, Callie, we got this email from her father. Basically, I will read this out loud, this quote. We're extremely thankful you decided to open CampK this summer. This past week was a godsend for us, having a great outlet for Kelly to be a part of. This summer, as you probably know, we allowed people with and without disabilities to come into CampK, which was a tremendous opportunity because a lot of siblings were able to come with their disabled brother or sister. And that was a tremendous experience for us. We had Olivia and Henry that they both attended, brother and sister. They loved it. And when I asked Olivia, hey, what do you want to do when you grow up? And her answer was a CampK counselor. And that just melted my heart. That just made my week, made my day. Then I want to mention Leland and Arlene. Leland is on the autism spectrum. Arlene does not have a disability. And their mom said that Arlene was so stoked that he could sit by Leland at lunch and finally get to do things with his brother. So many tremendous things from here at CampK. Although we did not have a regular summer, I would say that probably we had a summer that we'll never forget for the rest of our lives because we didn't know if we're going to be able to run summer camp. We didn't know whether we're going to find ourselves in third week of camp and shut down. 70% of camps across the country have not opened, and those that open, we heard some horrible stories. So we're very, very humble that we were able to provide this summer opportunity for our participants.
And I know we want to move on to some other things, but real quickly, just because some people want to understand how it works, you can't run this place without your volunteers, the staff people, the people that come in here on their internships. How was that process this year, getting people in here to help out? Because sometimes every kid needs, someone, kind of assigned to them.
So that's a fantastic question. You can only imagine. We usually hire our staff in the the winter months, January, February, March. We had, all our staff hired and ready to go, and many of them not from Utah, but from foreign countries or other states around the country, and some from Utah. And all of a sudden, you can't bring them here. So we had to start right away and post our jobs and rehire, and we hire tremendous staff, and some of them came from, North Carolina or Minnesota or other parts of the country, some of them from here in Utah, and we trained them, and they just did a tremendous job. Some of them did their internships with us, and as you can imagine, a lot of them got their internships canceled. One of our staff, she basically told me out of 25 people in her class, she's the only one that is able to carry on her internship because all the rest of them lost their internship. So we work really hard to recreate our team, re-envision our team, see what our needs are, and we train everyone, we inspire everyone, and we had a tremendous summer.
Right. And I'd say everyone who's seen these stories, maybe thinking about helping out, remember it's campk.org/donate to help out, because that's the only way that this happens. The donations, small and large, keep CampK running, keep the joy happening, create the happiness, create the moments for those people that maybe struggle in some ways or have not as able as some of us.
Yeah, this pandemic is like life. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. It is a long run, and we're going to work really hard to stay here and be open for our community, those that want to be a part of CampK, but in the same time also be here when this pandemic is over for those that can't be part of CampK right now.